We're back with a couple of members of Congress who were very involved in this debate. In fact, this big fight on Capitol Hill, but has yielded a new leader. Steny Hoyer of Maryland is the new Mr. Democrat on the House side right now. We just had him on. Now we have Congresswoman Maxine Waters, an extremely famous Democrat. God, when did you get famous? Back in '72?
I don't know. I've been around for a long time.
You've been a big, very important part of the Democratic Party in California, which is dominant out there. Let's go to my friend from Philly, Chaka Fattah, who I haven't talked to in too many months. Chaka, are you going to be mayor of Philly soon or what? What's happening?
Well, I have a big announcement on that on Saturday, but today we'll deal with this election in the House.
Can I assume that you're going for bigger things in Philly?
Well, I can just tell you that I am energized about the idea of this mayor's race, and I'm going to have something to say on that on Saturday at noon. Why don't you come on down and shoot? And,
you're so coy. Well, good luck with your decision. If you make it then, I've always supported you. I will continue to support you,
all right,
Mr. Fattah, Congressman. Let me ask you, while I always talk with Ms. Congresswoman Waters here, what is this race that led you, a good member of the Democratic Liberal Society, the liberal side of things, to back Steny, who I think is a moderate? Why'd you do that?
Well, I think Steny has demonstrated his leadership. He's paid his dues. Steny knows the name of every member of Congress, all of the new members. He pays attention. He's been there every Thursday morning to run those whip meetings. He took his licking and he kept on ticking. He lost, but he played the game of being a team member, and he's a member's leader.
Is he of your philosophy?
Not always. I don't always agree with him.
Is he tough enough on Iraq?
I think he's come to the point where all of the members of the caucus are now. He signed a letter along with Nancy Pelosi and all of the rest of the leadership to the President of the United States, talking about the mismanagement and how we got to change course. So they're all there. I was ahead of all of them, but they're all there now. And so he's where he should be. And again, he has proven himself. He paid his dues, and he was rewarded today.
Let's listen to another voice. Congressman Fattah, you supported Jack Murtha. Is that because you love the guy like so many of us do, or is it because you like his politics, or you're just from Pennsylvania? How would you describe your motives? Well,
first of all, I love Jack Murtha, and I think the country loves him for his courage and standing up against this war. He got a lot of votes in the Democratic caucus today, but it didn't add up to a win for him. But I think those who know Jack Murtha knows that that's one moment in time. We're going to be united. Steny Hoyer deserves this victory. He got the lion's share of the votes today, and we're going to be a united caucus. But Jack Murtha will be remembered as the person who awakened the country to the fact that this misadventure in Iraq, that we needed to turn away from it, and he took a lot of blows. And I think that the fact that he ran for leader is part and parcel of his passion about the war. He's been in Congress and he's never ran for the leadership. He's never had any interest in leadership, and his only reason for stepping forward today as a candidate was he wanted to give voice to this passion that we heard on Election Day, that we really need a new direction in terms of Iraq.
Let's talk about the House leadership.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember, I may be wrong, but Jim Clyburn is one hell of a heavyweight, and you've got him in the leadership now. He's whipped. He's going to run the organization that Steny ran.
That's right.
The only other member I can think is African-American from the caucus, the Black Caucus, was Bill Gregg.
That's right.
So he's only the second African-American to get into the big leagues here. Tell me about it. Why is that important to you?
Well, it's extremely important because, as you know, the Democratic caucus is a diverse caucus, and they embrace diversity, and they have given support to Jim Clyburn, not only now, but when he first ran as caucus chair. And so it shows that we understand what America is all about and how we must have the kind of diversity that America really represents in order to do a good job for the people. So I think it's consistent with democratic values.
Do you think you'll have an influence on legislation? I know every year you have the Humphrey Hawkins bill comes out. It's another version of the budget. It's sort of endorsed by the Black Caucus, as I understand. Do you think you're going to be able to get any influence when it comes to the big fiscal decisions? As a caucus, I don't want to be ethnic about this entirely, but it's a big deal to have Jim Clyburn up there.
It's a big deal, and we have a lot of members who think like Jim Clyburn who are going to be involved. I'm going to be the chair of the subcommittee on housing and community development of the Financial Services Committee. We're going to build affordable housing in this country.
Hey, we want to build it in Philadelphia, especially.
Absolutely, we're going to get it in Philadelphia.
Who put those nicer houses up? Now that you're on, I got to ask you, Congressman Fattah, when you drive in from the airport, in Philadelphia, and there's all these real new, remember the pretty bad off projects there for years. I think Bill Cosby grew up in one of those anyway. And you go by there now, they're all sort of modern, almost suburban housing. Who's responsible for that?
Well, I led the effort to get rid of the high-rises and to create these more modern public housing and to also have mixed income. We need for families front yards and backyards, a little California-like, Maxine, so that kids can play and grow. So we led that fight. We've invested in it, but you know, this Republican majority has been cutting back on you know, the Hope 6 program and other programs. We're going to have to, that's why we have to get out of Iraq. We are spending $11 million a minute in Iraq, $8 billion a month, and we can't invest that here in cities like Philadelphia and LA and New York. We can't do that if we're spending it in Iraq.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Shaka. And I'm so pleased that we have an opportunity to lead at this moment in our history. You're absolutely right. Yes. We really appreciate what Jack Murtha did. And he really did give us a big bump. Those of us who had been working in the Out of Iraq caucus begging for attention just didn't get it. But when he, this hero of the war, came forward, it really did get the attention of the press and the American people. He went out into America, and in going out into America, he got the support from all of the anti-war people, all of the progressives. He had not had that before, and it felt good, and he loved it, and he's doing a fabulous job, and I want him to continue to do that. But now I think we have the kind of team that can bring our soldiers home. So I'm happy that our team has been forged. We're all together. We're going to move forward. We're going to use this moment in history to do good for the American people.
And Congressman Fattah, if you do become mayor of Philadelphia, I'd like to see a more consistent performance by the Eagles. I mean, they're really a talented team. How about if they show it every Sunday from now? Is that a commitment from you in this campaign?
Well, you know, we will be able to handle the Redskins at least. Oh. And,
well, that's always been a problem for me, you guys and me guys. Anyway, I love Philly. Good luck in the mayor's race if you make the run. I think you will. Congressman Chaka Fattah of Philadelphia, Maxine Waters.
Thank you.
A hero
in
her own time.
Thank you.